Hi everybody, welcome to Astro Pills Astrology. My name's Samuel Dudgeon. I'm a practitioner of astrology, that being planetary astrology and Ba Tze, Chinese astrology, and also a doctor of Chinese medicine. And I'm giving you a rundown of the Yin Wood Snake year, which is coming up on the 29th of the 1st of January next year, 2025. And like all astrology, I'm really big on understanding your natal chart or your Ba Tze Four pillars chart to really understand and get really the most out of what these kind of years represent. Otherwise, we're just talking very generically, and that's okay. But you can't really apply things as well. When people really want to understand how the year is going to manifest for them. I think that's really, really important with astrology and all astrology. Otherwise, it just becomes more of a bit of a cookie cutter solution. And I think is why a lot of people may think, astrology is bullshit or doesn't really apply to them. It's all, because we've really got to understand and really study and invest in understanding what a chart represents to us. It's really, really important. And, and also, Ba Tze is a Chinese astrology. I call it Ba Tze, which means the 8 characters, which means, it's not just the year pillar, right? So currently we're in Yang Wood Dragon year, but that's a year pillar. We've also got a year pillar, a month pillar, a day pillar, an hour pillar. And I'll give a chart example after this to talk about, because we're about to be shifting energies into the snake. But we still primarily have this wood element theme, because we've had Yang Wood and now we're moving to Yin Wood. And a yin year generally, right, is going to make us more introspective. It's going to make us more reflective, more internal. Yin Wood's extremely creative element. So I think the benefits that the benefits of the years this year is going to be Yin Wood. I find Yin Wood a very intuitive stem. So, and a very creative ones. So I think it's going to be a time to apply creative solutions to our life, right? Instead of trying to analyze and come up with so many ways to construct our lives and plan. There's nothing wrong with planning. That's the Yang Wood, right? The Yang Wood's actually the plan, and we've had that year. And we're moving in now more to the Yin Wood, which is more, okay, I've structured this, I've structured that. I'm very goal orientated, which the wood element can be, particularly Yang Wood. But now we're moving into the Yin time, which is, okay, we may have applied our practicality using that Yang Wood stem, but now we're shifting to Yin. So now it's a time to offer creative solutions for our goals, because the wood element generally is still very goal orientated, even though it's more Yin. But it's demanding more, okay, let's have some creative flair to this. And it's also, I think, Yin Wood rules fashion, textiles, these kind of things. It's connected to sports, because Jupiter really is from a Chinese astrological point of view. But it's also philosophy. So it's also, the wood element primarily is all about expanding our philosophical nature. And philosophy as a subject is really not valued. I think it's becoming a lot more so now, but I think these are the times to really get more philosophical about life. And I've noticed the increase in the Stoics and things like this on YouTube. There's a lot of more of this wisdom coming out, and I would say it's a lot to do with this wood element from a Chinese astrological point of view, this Jupiterian energy, which is really expansive. And I think it's a time for expanding philosophical ideas. So generally, right, we have this Yin Wood Snake energy coming in. Now I look at this like, we can have, when the snake comes in, because generally, right, the snake is regarded generally regarded as wise, right? This is just the kind of pop astrology around it. They say the snake is wise, can be inwardly naive, prudent, easily scandalized or possessive. That's maybe the shadow side of this kind of thing. But the snake also is associated with wisdom and intelligence, intuition and insight. It's the snake sheds skins. Shed skin, sorry. It represents renewal, transformation, continuous growth, shedding skin or transforming our nature into something that is completely different from what we were. It's like changing layers, changing the lens of how we view and see the world. This is how I look at things. And I think, so primarily, right, the snake is part of metal element combination alongside with the ox and the rooster. Even though it's considered, say, fire, because it is connected, because the beginning of the season is the fire season is the snake. And if you have, like, say, a snake, a horse, and a goat in your 4 pillars chart, like, say, Donald Trump does, that's a seasonal fire combination. So those 3 branches in a chart will represent the fire. But inherently, the snake is not so hot, right? It's more metal because it's connected to this 3 harmony metal combination. So I think for people who are really using metal, this year will be favorable for you because it is one of your favorable elements. I talked about this in my blog on my website for those who want to read, but I'll talk a little bit more thoroughly here around that, because if you're using metal, the snake's going to be extremely favorable. And this is how Chinese astrology works. We need to work out what our elements are, favorable or unfavorable, right? That's really, really important, because then we can understand the nature of the branches and whether it's going to be a beneficial year for us or not. And I personally think the day pillar is extremely, extremely important because it relates to the self, right? The year pillar, which they always talk about, is related to ancestry. And I think, particularly as we grow up, the year pillar tends to drop off, so to speak, because it really rules the first 15, 20 years of life. So I think that the day pillar is really important. But having said that, right, so I was saying the snake is part of metal element combination. And of course, certain animals get along, certain animals don't get on, right? So if you've got, say, a pig in the chart, then of course the element's going to be in clash. So when the elements are in clash, that can indicate movement of some kind. So if you're sitting on the pig in the day pillar in the house of the spouse, or even if it's in the year pillar, right, it can still be affected. But clashes can, depending on the constitution of the person, the constitution of the chart, clashes can, usually growth periods, they can indicate movement, but sometimes they can manifest as health pathology, right? So, if you're not fit, you're not healthy, you're not taking care of yourselves, I think the snake, if you have a pig in the chart and it's in clash, can cause some disharmony, right? And particularly for those Chinese medical practitioners, there's animal body parts connected to this, and the pig is definitely connected to the liver, the kidney, and the head, and the snake is connected to the heart, the face, and the teeth, funnily enough. But I've noticed primarily, more so being a clinical practitioner, when usually the snake comes in and it clashes with the pig, that people can have what in the Chinese medical pattern, the heart and kidneys not communicating, which in layman's terms can be more connected. This clash combination can be anxiety. It can arouse high levels of anxiety. And it can also, in a way, may even stimulate a little bit of ADHD patterns, because everyone, man, his dog's getting diagnosed with this. And this is pretty much coming in now, which is interesting. And I'm going to do a separate talk on this because it's related to Uranus, about to move into the sign of Gemini, right? But it can be, because why? The snake is considered a travel star. It's a travel star in the chart. And it likes movement. It likes movement. It's one of the 4 travel stars. And the example chart I've got coming in is a traveling horse chart, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But, okay. So, for those who are born in the Yin Wood Snake, even if it's, say, in the year pillar, you're born in the year of the Yin Wood Snake, or you have a Yin Wood in the month, day, and hour pillar, I'm going to throw in some stuff that not many people really know about, which I learned from my mentor, which I think is absolutely fantastic, is we talked a lot about special configurations. So the Yin Wood Snake special configurations are the Yang Metal Tiger and the Yang Metal Dragon. So if anyone has that Yin Wood Snake in their chart, who I guess comes into a relationship with someone with the Yang Metal Tiger or Yang Metal Dragon, there'll be a very strong connection. These special configurations play out in so many ways, but they're generally really auspicious and very, very good luck. So even if you have, say, a Yin Wood Snake in your chart and you have any of those other Yang Metal Tiger, Yang Metal Dragon in your chart, it's going to be extremely auspicious for success. And the special configurations are amazing when you really get into this kind of things and how they play out, especially when you're right into studying charts. So I think that there's another very special thing with the Yin Wood Snake, particularly for the Yin Water Day Master, right? So people born on the Yin Water Day and are coming into this year, which is the Yin Wood Snake, it's going to be extremely auspicious in terms of generating wealth, because it's what they call the Eden God Nobleman Star that comes in for the year. And noblemans are usually what really bring us in to help us. And the snake is a nobleman to a Yin Water Day Master. Now, another thing to take in consideration with the snake too, if you already have a snake in your chart and we're coming into the year of the snake, it's also considered an up and down configuration. And what that means is there can be a lot of highs and a lot of lows coming in for the year. So it might be a bit of a rough ride. And I've seen people with these configurations who have 2 snakes in their chart, which really plays out for them in life if they've got this in their 4 pillars chart. So I want to move on to just quickly talking about the chart example here, because it's really important to just, for those who don't know Chinese astrology, because I'm trying just to get people to understand it a little bit better, because there's just really not that much talk on it. So we've got the year pillar here, the month, the day, and the hour. So, and obviously this person has no snake in their chart. So, but we can see this is the year pillar here. But when I was talking about here, this is the day master. This is the day master, which is the pivotal point of the whole chart. And interestingly enough, because I didn't mention before actually, coming up for the years, Yin Wood, right? And we have this person is very famous actually, has a Yang Metal Day Master. So anyone who has a Yang Metal Day Master for 2020 in their chart, coming up for 2025, is a money element combination if you're a Yang Water Day Master. So that's really highly auspicious if you have this, either getting a pay rise or some kind of promotion or something comes your way that gives you either a salary increase, a promotion, or anything like this on that level. Because when the stems combine and it's combining to your money element, it's highly auspicious for the year. So the Yang Men, or anyone who knows their chart and has a Yang Metal Day Master, is going to be in for a good one this year. But snake is part of the travel, one of the 4 travel stars actually. This person has 3 of them, the monkey, the pig, and the tiger. And we're talking a traveling horse chart. In Chinese astrology, this is what we call a traveling horse chart. And he's missing one of the traveling horses, which is the snake. He's currently in that cycle of it, which is the snake. So for him, this person completes the traveling horse configuration, which is highly, highly auspicious for the year. So I wanted to talk about this because this is how we look at a Chinese astrological chart to see, okay, how's this going to play out with this 4 pillars chart. So this person is completing that traveling horse configuration, which is considered highly, highly auspicious. So, and this person's a very, very famous heavy metal guitarist, and really, really traveling horse, which means he travels for a living, moves around, right? When you have all travel stars in your chart, you're going to like movement, and the snake, it indicates this, right? The snake is a travel star, so there can be movement of some kind coming in for the year as well. So I think in a nutshell, right, I don't want to talk too long, but the Yin Wood Snake is a year for, it's going to connect, it's just going to be a more introspective year. And you really need to know how this plays out with your 4 pillars charts, because there's so many things that it could represent for you. But definitely the Yin Water Daymaster, it's going to be a very auspicious year. And the Yang Metal Daymaster, it's going to be a very special year, combining with your money element. Also, I want to throw in too, because I know quite a few people personally who are born on the day of the Yin Wood Snake. And this is what they call, if you're actually born on this day, it's what they call one of the self-made pillars days. So there's 3 of those out of 60. So generally people born, say, on the Yin Wood Snake day are really, really, they'll make it on their own in life. It's what they call one of the self-made pillars. And I think the literal translation of the Yin Wood Snake is the red I've got all the ancient Chinese translations for these stems, right? Because there's 60 of them, because we've got to remember this runs on a sextagenary cycle, which means there's 60 heavenly stems and branches. And this is why the age of 60 is so significant to the ancient Chinese, because it means they've completed and they've moved through every heavenly stem and branch configuration for their whole life. But this one translates to the red phoenix rises into the sky. And they say women born on this day are actually more, benefit more than, say, men. And the Chinese, they talk about these kind of things. Some women benefit this, men benefit better on these days, and this kind of thing. So some people probably don't like to hear that now because of the PC culture and all this kind of thing. But I look at this pillar because the reason why I wanted to mention the red phoenix rises into the sky, because it reminds me more so of the archetype of Pluto. And I know people who actually have this. Personally, I know in my life who are born on this day are very much like that. They are very strong, and they are quite selfless in a way too, and more concerned. Sometimes they prioritize the welfare and well-being of others more so than others, but they tend to, whatever it is they lose, or because they are born on this self-made pillar day as well, even if they kind of lose everything, which I've seen them, they have, then they have that ability to really regenerate themselves and build up. And I think this is one of the positive things about the Yin Wood Snake, because I would apply that for the year. I think it is going to be one of those years where probably people, the last 4 years have been pretty heavy in terms of shattering people's minds and consciousnesses, and we all need a bit of a shake up to, we only really change when our asses are burning. But the red phoenix rises into the sky, I think, is a really good theme for the year. And I look at that as the phoenix, and the phoenix being connected to the archetype of Pluto in transformation, and the snake is transformation. So I just want to end on that note. And if anyone has got any questions, just contact me. And I also want to say too, I'm going to be doing a live on this. So my YouTube channel, I'm going to do a live and we'll talk about the year of the snake, and people can punch in their birth data, and I'll draw up their 4 pillars chart, and then we can actually have a look into how things are going to play out for you for the year 2025. So really stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be good. And for those it's a good opportunity for people who don't really know much about Chinese astrology, and to have a look into that. So thanks for listening, and I hope this is helpful. I know it's a different take on this. I'm not like all the other people talking about the year of the snake and this kind of thing. But anyway, join the live if you can. I'll be posting it up soon, the dates.